Hey guys, so MapleStory 2 is going to fully release tomorrow, and I'm expecting all the servers to crash. But I wanted to take today to give everyone the rundown on how to get through the early stages of the game, leveling up, getting better equipment, getting more mesos, important things to not miss out on, and stuff like that. Welcome to my beginner's guide for MapleStory 2. It's a brand new game, so knowledge is limited, and most people are walking into the game pretty much blind, except for the hardcore players who spam KMS2 or CMS2. Fortunately for you, being the Walmart for MapleStory's information and whatnot, I'm going hard at work trying to get as much information as possible. And I'm also going through the motions and making the mistakes so that you don't have to. I've actively played Closed Beta 1 and the Head Start update, and while I'm not progressed as far into MapleStory 2 as some others, I've done my fair share of research. And by fair share of research, I meant I spammed my friends to tell me how to get good at the game, and then they told me how to. Also, for all you new players coming into North America East server and you want to join a guild, there is an application form in the description below to join my guild Noctis, and yeah, just in case you guys want to make some friends early on. Alright, the plug's out of the way, let's get started. The first thing you need to understand is that MapleStory 2 not only encourages party play, but it actually sometimes requires it. Unlike MapleStory 1, where barring maybe a few things, such as endgame bossing or asking your friend to friends and service you can play the entire game on your own without needing to interact with basically anybody. MapleStory 2, on the other hand, is balanced in a sense where taking on everything by yourself is impractical or extremely inefficient. Plus, it's more fun to play with friends, obviously. If you have a hard time finding people to play with, then try to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Go approach random people in game, ask them if they want to play a bit, or you can feel free to join the MapleStory 2 public discords and introduce yourself. We are in the age of social media and public communication hubs like Discord, so it's pretty easy to reach out and find some buddies who do want to party with you. If you already have friends, then try to work out who wants to play what class at the very start, at least for farming. Ideally, you want to have one priest, one frontliner like Berserker or Knight, and then two backline DPS. Alternatively, you can go for a full frontline party with the priest keeping you healthy, but it's also just fine to go DPS. You don't need to really worry about team composition until like late game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let's get this done step by step, and there will be a table of contents in the description below for your leisure if you want to skip to a specific topic. In terms of leveling, honestly, just stick to the story mode questline. Until the community finds better options for leveling up your characters, you're better off completing the very tedious questline up to level 50. And then I don't know if Nexon's going to release a streamlined training method from 50 to 60, so you're on your own from there. But I speculate dungeon farming will be the main source of experience. Rush to level 50 as soon as you can, then immediately get your gear score to 1500. You need that so you can access the main bulk of the mid-game content. From here on out, as stated in the Meso guide, you want to grind the normal dungeons 10 times a day up to 30 times a week to get as much equipment as you can. Make an effort to turn all the gear in your equipment inventory blue, or in other words, exceptional. And if you get some epic drops that aren't weapons, you should equip them. Continue grinding dungeons until you rack up enough onyx crystals and catalysts to enhance your equipment. MapleStory 2 does not have a scrolling system like there is in MapleStory 1, where you would scroll, prime scroll, or spell traits and stuff. It's way simpler to where you just need materials such as onyx crystals, or for better weapons you need chaos onyx crystals, etc. Get enough materials to then enhance your gear and add bonus stats to them incrementally, based on the equipment type and rarity. There are two options for enhancing when you click the enhancing button. The first one is the one on the left, which is the old-fashioned RNG based one, where you have a set chance to pass the enhancement with its rate decreasing the more enhancements you have. It sounds a lot like the Star Force system from MapleStory 1, but don't worry, it won't blow up your equipment. The second option is a guaranteed 100% success rate per tier up. However, in exchange, you need to expend 4 times the amount of materials needed. In other words, for gear you plan to enhance past like +8 or +9 up until around +7, focus on just doing it the RNG way, and then afterwards go to the slow and steady one, because while it will cost you more, it's a better chance than, let's say, trying to go for a 10% every time. Getting materials like onyx crystals are obtained by dismantling equipment, or disenchanting, extracting, uncrafting, disassembling, just choose your own word or semantic. Dismantling equipment is the most effective way to gain onyx crystals. Any spare equips and/or items that you have that you don't plan to use or sell should be extracted to grant you crystals and chaos onyx crystals. To get the crystal fragments, just talk to any random supply NPC merchant in a town and they can hook you up with some. The other ways you can get these materials are to either buy them straight from the black market or by collecting dungeon progression chests, which reward you for completing X amount of dungeons that week. All in all, they're really easy to come by, the only difficult ones being the Chaos Onyx Crystals, because that you can only get from Epic Gear, but you don't need to worry about that until a little bit later. Okay, so once you reach around 2100 gear score, you can start battling the harder dungeons, Fire Dragon and Balrog Temple. They give you much stronger gear that you can equip and or disenchant. You're going to want to rush these as fast as you can to make sure your entire equipment inventory is all purple, and reach around 3000 gear score so you can go after the new dungeons for level 60. Equipment and gear progression aside, making mesos is pretty simple so far, and I'll leave a link to the meso making video I made not too long ago in the description below. But another thing that I didn't actually include in the video is potion solvent farming. Mobs around the Maple world drop things called potion solvents at a relatively low drop rate, and they are ingredients that you can sell for a decent amount in the black market, or alternatively you could just use it yourself. To my experience, I think the red wall map appears to be the best one so far, as long as you have any sort of mount that provides you with elevation like the golden pig or the light bulb or the balloons. Try your best to collect as many trophies as possible. Some of them give you pretty neat stuff, and some of them even reward you with skill points, which are a must-have. You can sort out the trophy rewards to skill points and work to complete all the ones that give you SP for more skills. They don't drastically impact your character early game, but once we get later and later into the game, it may start making a difference. Plus, for long-term character progression, you do want to get it for the sake of posterity, you know? One other thing you should keep track of is to do as many daily missions as you can. Apart from the get rich thing, completing dailies will grant you mission points. That grants you more onyx crystals for equipment enhancement, so you don't have any reason to pass them up. These daily quests are not really that difficult so much as they are tedious. If you have the Founders Pack or subscription to the premium membership, you have free fast travel all around the Maple world, but players who don't will have to either spend 5 merits every time they want to move without walking around, or they're just gonna have to manually walk to every single daily quest, and that gets old after a while. Not necessarily a pay to win thing. It's more a case of convenience than anything, but you know, convenience is what makes the world go round, so there we go. While we're on that case of long-term growth, this is optional but heavily recommended. Make alt characters or extra characters, however many you feel like making. Each character can do their own set of dailies such as dungeons and daily quests. To boost your rate of progression, you should put that on your to-do list, although do not burn yourself out. This game is new and everyone is scrambling for power, but just remember it's not a race. Take it at the pace you want and take it slow. Another reason why you should make more characters is just to experience all of them. There are only 9 classes in the game so far, and I don't really need to make a top 5 classes video because, well, there are only 9 of them. And you can easily experience all of them barring maybe ability awakenings. I plan to make them eventually since you know me, I love having multiple mains, and since there are only 9 characters, that's easy to get them all to level 60. That wraps it up really. The rest is up for you to explore. Go check out fishing, do some housework, music making, design your own clothes. This game has a ton of things to offer, so if you really want to sink your teeth into it, then get busy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to playing with you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you in-game soon. And don't forget to, if you want to join my guild, you can always feel free to apply in the description below, but for now, I will see you later. Take care.